Living in fight or flight mode is stopping you from creating the art you want to create. Would you even know if you were living in fight or flight mode in this moment right now? Are you clenching your jaw? Are you holding your breath? Are you clenching your fists? Are you clenching your butt cheeks? In this moment right now, are you waxing and waning between a fight or a flight mode? Are you avoiding something by being here and watching me? Are you dissociating from something by being here and watching me? Having an understanding of your wiring in terms of your nervous system and your fight or flight response, and whether you're living in a constant state of activation, is going to really help you understand your relationship to your creative flow. If you don't have an understanding of how your nervous system is showing up to the creative process, then it's going to be really difficult to understand how your creative blocks are serving a purpose in your life. Because if you are creatively blocked, it is likely a defense mechanism or a protective mechanism to keep you from a few of the following things, or one of the following things, but often it's a few of them. One, it can be a fear of failure and a fear of creating something that you don't like, or creating something ugly or that isn't up to these standards that you've created for yourself, or maybe that the external world has created for you. Maybe you don't know what to create and you're in a state of decision fatigue or decision paralysis, and you have no idea what it is that you want to do at all if you were to create. Maybe it's you just don't feel like you have any ability or skill to create, and so you just don't because you've convinced yourself that you're not an artist, or that you're not creative, or that you just don't have the time or the energy or the resources to commit to a creative practice. So I want you to grab a pen and a piece of paper or some type of writing utensil and a substrate to write on, or if you want to paint or if you want to create. We are just going to do what we've done in our previous video. If you watched my last video, we did this. We're going to do the same exercise. So if you have a journal where you just allow yourself to free express in terms of your creativity, great, grab that, but just grab a pen and a piece of paper or writing utensil, and I just want you to make random marks. Make random marks and not think about it, and just move your hand. And if you want to create an image or a scene, that's great. But just while you're listening to me, try the act of making something and let go of any intention on creating something you like. Let go of any belief that you don't have the time to do that, because you're sitting here right now listening to me. And so if this is the moment you turn off the video, then that's okay. But I want you to try to, before you turn off the video, commit to coming back here with a pen and a piece of paper and doing this for you, because this is how we show up and we tell ourselves that we don't have to have an elaborate creative process to just get that part of our brain and body working, and helping our nervous system kind of put the cart before the horse, so to speak, and do the thing before we feel like maybe we're in the perfect position to do it. And I have to talk to some of my clients with certain mental health struggles around this, that sometimes when we're in a state of depression, we have to put our face in the sunshine, even though everything in our brain is telling us that we just need to stay under the covers and not get out of bed. Because just that 1 second of allowing ourselves our face in the sunshine is giving our body and our nervous system a chance to re-hardwire the hardwiring that's essentially happening every time we get into a depressive episode and we don't allow ourselves the sunshine. And so it doesn't mean we have to be toxically positive and pull ourselves and force ourselves to go on a long walk in the sunshine, or, go and do something elaborate in the sunshine. It just means even just doing it for 1 second more than we did it the moment before is something. And it just sometimes putting the cart before the horse like that, putting our face in the sun, is enough to then convince us to stay a little longer in the sun, or maybe to go outside, or to maybe go in the sun again tomorrow, or maybe to consider that maybe they want to take the covers off and maybe put their feet on the ground. It allows a little bit of a catalyst that comes from almost outside of us, that doesn't require us to tackle any mountains. And so that's what we're doing by grabbing a pen and a piece of paper and just letting ourselves scribble something random without any intention. And even if it's just genuine energy that's coming out of your hand, it is serving a purpose. And if you understand anything about how our nervous system is hardwired, if you have experienced trauma, if you have experienced a ton of chaos or stress, or you are someone in your life who manages a lot and you're constantly having to be on and activated and ready and alert, maybe you're a parent, maybe you are in a high stress job or situation, maybe you are in poverty, or you're in a situation where you are being marginalized or targeted, and there is just no real time to access a place where you feel calm enough to even create. This is bypassing that because you were calm enough to come here and watch this video. So we're kind of hacking the system, habit stacking, and adding the habit of you sitting here while watching me on YouTube, and then you actively creating something. And so bravo if you have gotten this far. Bravo if you've grabbed a pen and a piece of paper. But even if you haven't grabbed a pen and a piece of paper and you're curious about what it would be like to watch this again with a pen and a piece of paper, bravo. So let's ask yourself if your expectations for what your creative process needs to look like at this time in your life are too high, if those expectations are too high. Am I expecting myself to be able to sit down and dedicate a long period of time to creating? And am I telling myself that in order to create, I need to have a long period of time to do so? And can I challenge that rule for myself? Can I challenge myself to say that I can, in fact, create something with no intention and no purpose and no meaning, with no intention of showing anybody or impressing anybody, even myself, that still counts for something? Can we challenge any part of ourselves that is resisting that and minimize and or lessen the expectations we've set for ourselves and our creative process? If you are classically trained in art or you went to traditional art school, you may have been told certain rules or myths about how much time you have to dedicate to your art practice in order for it to mean anything, or in order for it to lead to any true change or anything. And I want to challenge that in this and say that you don't need to spend 10 million thousand hours on anything to be an expert, but you just need to spend even a minute doing something to have done it, and to have that feeling within yourself to say, hey, I drew something today. Hey, I scribbled something today. Hey, I listened to a video on the art of the creative process and mental health and listened to it all the way through. Like giving yourself a chance to prove to yourself that these small acts of creativity actually do add up and mean something when stacked against the larger acts of creativity. And they actually make room for those larger acts of creativity and for more time for creativity. And are you trying to fulfill those high expectations from a place of constant stress, burnout, or running away from something? If you're only using art to dissociate, then maybe right now that's not what you need. Maybe you need art to connect, and maybe you're afraid to connect. And maybe every time you paint, you cry, or maybe every time you draw something sad and you don't want to connect to that part of yourself. But that part of yourself is going to exist no matter whether you create it or not. And so by creating with it, by facing the fears and the feelings and the emotions, we're allowing it to exist somewhere outside of ourselves so that we don't suffer from it so much. So that we're not poisoning ourselves with our own emotions by not allowing them to exist somewhere that isn't burning us from the inside, so to speak. And so are you in fight or are you in flight? If you're in fight, you are activated, you are agitated. You're probably not even watching this video anymore if you're in fight, because you would probably lose your patience pretty quickly maybe. Or you are in fight most of the time, but right now you're in flight. And if you're in flight, you are avoiding your problems. You're avoiding the things that are going on in your life. You're looking to get away because you're exhausted. You're just burnt out and you just can't possibly deal with the day-to-day. And so understanding that and honoring that and giving yourself grace for wherever you've identified that you are. And maybe you're neither. Maybe you're like, nope, I'm good. I'm not in fight or flight, but you're still listening here. So being curious about whether or not you would even know. And how would you know? Well, you'd go see a therapist. If you're in Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, Florida, I am taking on some new clients in May during the week, during the day. So you can definitely contact me. I do believe I have my information in my YouTube profile, but if not, leave a comment and I will drop a link. But understanding your nervous system, whether you start reading some books or listening to some podcasts or starting therapy, whatever it is, addressing that. And if you already know what soothes your nervous system, so if you are in a state of fight or flight and you aren't doing the other things that you know help you balance that and help you access a grounded place, bringing that back in before jumping to creativity. So I used to think that if I was burnt out from my therapy work, that I could just go create art and that would be the solution. And at first that worked out and that was okay. But at a certain point, my burnout caught up with me, even with the art. And it was because I wasn't tending to those basic nervous system needs of eating, sleeping, moving my body in the ways that it needed to move, getting outside, doing the whole picture and having a holistic approach to my creative process. If I just look at it as me being a machine that's supposed to output something beautiful all the time, but I'm not feeding the machine anything, I'm not oiling the system, then it makes sense that I'm going to end up blocked. It makes sense that I'm going to create things I don't like. It's going to make so much sense when we start to operate from a place where our nervous system is more balanced and relaxed, and we have more of a graceful and balanced relationship with what we create, because it's accessible when we're not in fight or flight. And you don't need fancy self-care. You don't need radical self-care. You just need to be eating right. You need to be sleeping right. And you need to be tending to your basic needs. Peeing when you have to pee, poop when you have to poop, drink water, do the things that seem so menial in comparison to the major problems that we experience in our lives and in the world. But I promise you, if you just start eating things that feel good in your body, drinking water, having movement in your system, whether that be physical movement or bowel movements, and giving yourself grace for the fact that you're blocked and being easy on yourself and learning the signs of what is a burnt out nervous system. What is me trying to put the cart before the horse by trying to create before I'm even taking care of myself? So maybe I didn't pick up the pen today, maybe I didn't create anything, but I want you to look at what you've created if you did create something and just ask yourself if you can see anything in it. If it was abstract and just scribbles, can you see anything in it? If it was intentional and there was a literal scene that you created, does it have any connection to what we've been talking about today? Just ask yourself if there felt like there was any meaning after all in this silly little task that I gave you. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm, again, still relatively new to the YouTube world, but I'm about a year in now, and I'm really liking the rhythm of the no music, no frills YouTube of my process and me talking through my inner thoughts. These videos aren't super instructional, but I am willing to redub the sound over some of these videos if I get enough interest at some point to have them be more instructional, to actually talk about what I'm doing in the paintings. But so far, I'm really enjoying this inner monologue, talking and painting that we're doing here. And I've been enjoying the comments that I've been getting and the commentary I've been getting. And if you have specific questions about my process, definitely let me know. I do try to put the link to my materials in the video description, but I sometimes forget. I think I'm actually thinking right now I have a couple to go back to and add them to, but always feel free to ask any questions you want. And thanks so much for being here. And I hope that you get a chance to relax. I hope that you get a chance to create. I hope that you get a chance to figure out what it is that makes your nervous system tick. And I am on a journey myself still of figuring it out for me. And I've been a clinician now for 15 years. I've been in private practice for 7, and I am still trying to figure it out. At 36 years old, I still don't fully know my nervous system the way I feel like I maybe should at this point in my life. And so no shame, no judgment if you have no clue and you're just starting out, and no shame or no judgment if you feel like you should know better, because maybe you're like me and you're a therapist and you're just not practicing what you preach. So I'm proud of you for being here. I'm proud of you for watching me. This watercolor, this intuitive watercolor is coming to life, and I am loving it in a lot of ways, and I'm curious to see how it wraps up. I will share the complete process in multiple segments, and we will talk a little bit more in my next video. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to address. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. And I hope that you are willing to show up for yourself today. I hope that you're willing to do the thing and to feel the sunshine and to move your hand, move your body, and do what you need to do for you. I'm proud of you. Thanks for being here.